Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to GameStar TV and the winners semi-final of tonight's Injustice 2 circuit event. So this is where things are getting really intense. JAM Castiel taking on Darkside and Castiel for a berth in the grand final. It's going to be a cracker of a match. Castiel obviously can't cast because he is playing, so it's going to be all up to Enigma to take you through on his own and lead us into what is going to be a fantastic grand final coming up. Not after this game, we've got one more match after this particular match and then into the grand final. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to Enigma for Castiel versus Wasminator.
At the moment, Blake is Castiel is just currently struggling to connect to the room, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to private invite everyone. But we are going to be having DS Wasminator versus JAM Castiel. And this is not only just, so Castiel and Wasminator have been training partners for a long time, but not only that, the thing is that this is also a battle of sorry, what am I trying to say? This is a battle of the organizations, which is something, thank you so much to all these dogs, including GameStar, who are coming into the fighting game scene. But yes, this should be interesting. But let me, just set this room up, send the invites.
While you're doing that, I'll just jump in there. I'm actually surprised that there aren't more organizations involved in... hang on, let me just press that button. There you go. Involved in the scene, because the thing about the fighting game community is you have guaranteed majors throughout the year. And that is just fantastic exposure for an organization and for their sponsors. So hopefully with JAM and Darksided both involved, we might see more organizations getting involved quite soon.
Definitely. As well as the fact that yeah, there's so many dedicated people in the fighting game community that you can sponsor. Like sponsors, please, if you want to get involved, reach out to myself, Yusuf, which is JAM_FAYD on Twitter. They'll point you in the right direction. And there are so many different games as well. So please, if you want to get involved, just let us know, and we can help. But we are going to be getting into the match. We do have a Castiel versus Wasminator, Catwoman versus any character. I would like to see some Flash, but I don't think Blake is going to be playing Flash. I imagine we will see Batman. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I just spilt water all over myself. Just waiting for it to start up, ladies and gentlemen. Won't a minute. And then we are going to be in, this is winners finals.
Catwoman.
So, Castiel and Wasminator are both players that have fought each other hundreds of times, and Castiel hovering the Flash. I'd love to see it, but I can't imagine he's going to pick it.
Brainiac.
Oh, Flash versus Brainiac. Ladies and gentlemen. No. Oh, please.
Batman. Catwoman.
I got so hyped. Very disappointed. Wasminator, Castiel, you've let me down this time. But we are going to see Batman vs Catwoman. What I thought we were going to be seeing. And both of these players are so good at their respective characters. I feel like Taz is probably the best Catwoman in Australia, especially since I retired. So, yep, he's definitely overtaking me now. But we are going to be going straight into it. Here we go. Castiel versus Wasminator. And Wasminator getting the first hit with that throw. Castiel does actually have the trade out now and is going to go for it. And what I like is Wasminator just walking backwards, uses the EX interactability to get himself out of there and get the confirm as well. Forward one, down two. Here's a great jump back, tried to get the confirm but couldn't actually get anything off it. And same thing with Castiel, manages to get it into the trade, into a throw now, into the corner. So life about even, but the thing as well with this stage is that on the back foot there is a lot of unclashable, well, those interactables there are unblockable easy. Tries to get the confirm as well, spends the second one, and I actually feel like Blake did use those two, kind of trying to get them, but as well, didn't want Taz to have the opportunity to get him. And now you can see a jump in. Push block coming out from Wasmanator. You can see trying to walk his way through. Has the trade out once again. Now just going zoning game, and I like that coming out from Blake. See, this is the thing. It's very difficult for Blake to open Was up because he's so used to the matchup. But see, life's still about even. Castiel is sitting on significantly more bar though, however. Once again, tried to whiff punish. Actually gets a trade with the trait. And like I said, gets a trade once again with the down two. The sweep coming out once again. Wake up. All good blocks coming out from Osman. A push block coming out once again. Was spending all his bar on the push block. I like that. You can see he uses that Cataway to get away from it. So it could take a while, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to work his way through again. And a back three coming out from... Oh, drops in the combo, however, and tries to wake up with it. I think that was trait, but instead does actually get caught, and that is going to be Castiel taking the first life bar with not a lot of health left, however. Working his way through. Batarang comes out. And Castiel is disconnected from the game. So that means we are going to give that first game to Wasmanator. I will re-invite him, but something might be happening with his computer. With his PlayStation. So not totally sure what happened there. But it's okay. We'll re-invite him. He might restart his PlayStation or something. But yeah, so that is going to be game number 1 going to Wasmanator. Which is a bit of a pain for Castiel, considering, you know, he's been doing so well with the commentary, and then he finally is able to get back in because he did so well in the circuit. And I would not want him to lose due to disconnections, because that is always heartbreaking. And it never feels like a win if you're on the other side as well, if they lose by default. I mean, unless it's me, because I don't win anything anyway. But yeah, so... Sorry, just fixing my stick. So not totally sure what's going on here. Hopefully he rejoins. Like I said, might actually be so we will just give him a minute. Could we get the bracket up on stream just so we can have a look at people's paths through the bracket so far? So if you see, Castiel hasn't actually dropped a game yet. He hasn't. Sorry, he's dropped a set. He dropped one game up against Ketchup Llama. But other than, and Oblivion. My apologies. So he hasn't dropped a set yet, and he actually hasn't dropped a set whilst playing Injustice. He has not been sent into the losers bracket. Taz doesn't care. He will take 3 DQs. All right, but we do have Castiel back in. Not totally sure what happens. That is 1-0 to Wasmanator now. Sad for Blake, but it's just the way it rolls with online tournaments. And now we're going to see straight back into it. I feel like this has happened before, actually. But now we're going to see.
Fighters approaching contact.
I just had to switch my controller over. But once again, Castiel versus Wasmanator. Castiel had won the first round before the DQ, the dis. Before obviously he disconnected, but we'll see how it goes from here. So once again, back into it, forward 1-1 coming out into the full confirm as well, and delaying it slightly. The combo, so good knowledge from Wasmanator. In the corner now, 420 damage, tags in with the overhead. Let's get a 3-3 string. Oh, doesn't actually get the full confirm. That is a bit strange, however. Sometimes you get hit with the first part, the second part whiff, and then the third hit of 1-2-3 will actually hit. Once again, going for more staggers. I like this forward 2. Just look at this pressure coming out from Castiel. It's deciding to finally spend bar. Down 2 coming out from Wasmanator. And you can see he thinks that Blake's going to be jumping a lot more. And that's why I like how Blake's doing a lot more ground game, because actually tagging with the bat. Into the corner now, really good stuff. Forward 3 coming out as well, into the corner. Blocks the trade. That is safe on block, and now once again, forward 1. Into the full confirm, yes he does. Is he going to get the full combo? Yes he is. Into the whip, hard knockdown for 408 damage, nothing to sniff at, now just sitting in that full screen, waiting for Castiel to come in, tags him, but can't actually get the confirm. Once again, forward 3, goes over the top, meet him, and back 3 coming out from Catwoman as well. Good stuff, trying to work his way through it, and you can see Catwoman sitting by that gargoyle. Just like that, uses the interact fill. I could see it in his eyes, he was waiting to use it. So good stuff, however, like I said, one combo from Batman is going to do it. Hits him with the mechanical bat, second one's going to pull it out. Now just working his way through, forward 3, jump in, fantastic down to the autocorrect as well. You know, a hard knockdown, good block from Castiel, blocking that forward 3. Up battering once again. Just walking his way through, forward 3 and just a back 3 coming out on the whiff punish as well. The God button, as Blake called it, is actually going to push him all the way into the well. Stage unclashable as well, 280 damage. Now Blake is sitting on full meter. That has a very big life deficit to come back, but it is Batman. I would not be surprised to see a switch after this, however. but the meter burn back 3 coming out from Catwoman. Blake is going to be forced to use the clash. I imagine he's going to spend 2 bars here and keep 2 bars to himself for pressure. No, decides to spend 3. Decides he needs that little bit of that 30%, but just the run and throw, but a fantastic throw break coming out from Castiel now, walking his way through into the batarangs, and you can see just trying to zone him out now. It's very hard to zone out Catwoman, but Batman does a pretty decent job because he steps back when he throws those batarangs. Double dash in now, more pressure, that's plus. Gives himself plus once again, back 2-3. Or tags him with the batarang, just like that is going to be enough. However, did actually cross him up there, so maybe should have just, instead of doing the jump, instead, did 1-1-2. Pressure, good duck coming out from Wasman, we can't actually get it down one underneath it. Good backdash as well, trying to backdash the back 1-1. Once again, into the full combo. Yes, he does, confirms this is going to be needless too. 350 damage, nothing. Health pretty much tied up. Wasman is still sitting on a clash, however, and does have the significant meter advantage. Once again, and a fantastic use of that meter burn. Into the corner, I like that. Cutting his combo short, and just gets the mechanical bat. What a read. Breaker from Wasmate, really good stuff. Just now, is he going to spend all the bar? I feel like Blake's going to spend one of his bars. No, decides not to, and 3 bars coming out for Wasmate once again. Needs that health, and now you can see that is 1 combo for Catwoman. However, doesn't have any bar to confirm into the big damage, and fantastic down too, but doesn't get the full confirm into a throw. Back throw as well, creates some space once again. Just starts to zone out once again. Health about even. Wasman will just have slight health advantage. Blake waiting for the mechanical bat to come out. Goes get a trade once again in the forward 3. Is he going to get the full combo? Yes, he is. And Blake caught not blocking. That is 2-0 to Wasmader at the moment. Now we're going to see if he's going to switch characters. I don't think he will, but just to see what he does. Really good stuff from him, however, and just that forward 3 so uncanny. Maybe the disconnect messed with his head a little bit, but it's unlike him to not block something like that. Catwoman. And no, he is going to go back into the Batman. Coltrane getting the Wasmader spam coming up. And no, he wouldn't pick Deadshot because it's 6-4 Catwoman's one.
Fighters approaching Arkham
so he needs to reverse sweep 3-0. He does still have the losers bracket to play. But Wasmader is going to be sitting comfortable if he does win this. So let's see what happens. Back into it again. Can he win 3 straight? Or is Wasmader actually going to be the first person to send Blake into the losers bracket? Here we go. Whether he hits him with a mechanical bat. Manages to get a trade there. I'm not totally sure what happened, but doesn't get the full confirm. Good use of the batarang and just wakes up trade as well. Auto-corrected as well. Once again, just playing slowly. Wasmader steps up into that batarang, but now trying to get his way through. More batarangs coming out. Jump back 2. Blocks the sweep. Can't actually get the punish. Once again, looking for more pressure. I like that. Uses the batarang as well. Drops the ender, however. Just a little bit too far away. Forward 1. Gets a trade, but Wasmader does get a fantastic confirm. Excuse me. And tags him out of the counter dash. Now here we go. Into the full mix-up. Yes. No, decides to go for damage instead. I like this decision. Gonna get the full combo. Yes, he does. Almost 400 damage. Now we can see mechanical bats back out. What point is he going to go in? Spends the bat. Here we go. Oh, whiffs the trait. Now he's going to be a full whiff punish. Castiel coming back with vengeance. As you can see now, the Wasmader spam going up in the chat. But we're going to see now. Castiel has a huge life lead as well. Isn't too far down on bar because Wasmader just got 1 on forward 3. Now is he going to go for the mix up this time? No, goes for the full comp. Now I like that. Doesn't drop it this time. It's going to do a lot of damage. Almost hit once again. The trade as well, sends out the bat, has one out already, and uses the batarang. I like the spacing from Castiel. Oh, he uses the meter and cat dash, however, manages to armor through. Into the corner, still has a huge life deficit, uses the cat dash to actually whiff to get himself in, and now you can see Wasmader gets tagged as well. Goes for the unclashable, yes he does. Really good knowledge from Blake. Now she's going to try to zone him out. Jump in into a throw, great break coming out from Wasmader. He does actually get caught with that hitbox of that meter burn batarang, and now you can see, can he make the comeback? Can't even use the meter burn cat dash for damage, but here a raw back 3. Gonna be enough to take the back 2. Jump over, set up into the low. This is gonna be enough to take the life bar. Has a huge comeback ahead of him, but can he do it? 43 points of health left. Castiel still has clash as well. Goes for a meter burn back 3, and is just gonna get chipped out with the back forward 2 meter burn. Really good stuff from Castiel, showing respect. 2-1 still. Wasmader is up, but now starting to build some momentum. Oh my goodness. The chat is just filled with Wasminator's face. Alright, so I can't imagine Wasminator's going to switch.
Catwoman.
His only other character that he really played was Captain Cold when we came up with a setup that would never work, as well as Atrocitus. I know he hates the character, so I can't imagine either player is going to switch. Now, Cass still needs to win 2 more games. Wasminator only needs to win 1, but it is Castiel. We cannot count him out. There is a reason why we call him the best. Really interesting as well. Trying not to get the stage. Now, both of these stages will have background bounces, which is something that if Catwoman uses can push 600 down for a bar with a background bounce. So interesting to see how they use those. Something as well that Australia wasn't really doing for a while there, but has recently started to do a little bit more. So good stuff. But here we go. Forward 1 starts out once again. Forward 1 throw. Caught Castiel last time, and once again catches him backdashing. Into the full combo this time. This is going to do a lot of damage. He's going to keep him close. No, pushes him into the corner. Single dash now. Has to get some mix up. Corpse hops him as well. Tags him with a little bit, but once again jump back. I like that scream swap, and just like this, Castiel is getting pressured all over. Goes for a stance and just jumps, but doesn't actually get anything off it. Once again, tried to go for the confirm, and now Castiel's got his pressure. Fantastic push block over, gets rid of all 3 of those bats, and now Castiel's a little bit lost. Tries to spend a bit of bar now into the corner now, back into pressure. Oh, just a down 2 trade. That's in Wasminator's favour. Goes to the trade as well, and that is going to be enough to kill. Wasminator sitting on match point, ladies and gentlemen. Has no bar. Castiel has 2, but look at that life advantage for him. He's waiting, jump in. 1, 2, 3 into the trade. Oh, actually whiffed because of Catwoman's sit block. Goes for an up battering. Blake needs to play perfectly from here on in if he wants to win this. Goes for a straight grapple. And I just like this. Wasman's just playing nice and patient, playing slow. Oh, down 2 once again. Gets the confirm. These trades are not working out very well. And a forward 3. He's going to come out, forcing the clash out of Castiel.
I've got no.
This is a very early clash. Look at the life still on Wasminator's side. Still, like I said, has no bar. Decides to spend 2. I like that decision. Give himself a bar to work with. And now what's he going to do from here? Goes in for the trade once again. Back 3. Oh, back 2, sorry. Drops into the combo, however. Trade comes out. I think that one was a little bit punishable. And you can see, tags him out of the dash. 1, 2. Jump in once again. Fantastic backdash. Tries to get the air to it. And it actually does, but it trades once again. These are all in Wasminator. Meter burn back 3. Into the full confirm. Luckily for Blake, doesn't have enough of his trait. But now, one more guess is going to be wrong. Actually presses buttons. The trait comes out once again. Forward 1 coming out. Down 1 coming out. Jump over. Doesn't actually whiff. Now, here we go. Into the full mix up. Decides not to convert into a combo. I don't know if I agree with that. Forward 3. Meter burn comes out. Back 3 once again. Goes for a roll back 3 of his own. Jump in. Is he going to get the confirm? No, he doesn't. However, doesn't have a lot of health. Does have a super on Blake's side. Don't get placed in the back 3. And ladies and gentlemen, Castiel has been dethroned 3-1 by Wasminator. Now he's not out of the tournament, but still, he's now in the losers bracket. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little bit lost for words. This is something that, well, then again, I guess, you know, even was very interesting. Wow, Castiel. So like I said, he can run it back. He does have the losers bracket. I just have to make sure that they're not going to play out this match because he did lose it, because he did DC for that one. But again, he does have that losers bracket side. So we are going to take once again a short break, and we're going to come back finally to losers grand finals. It's going to be Castiel versus Tot Slayer. Don't go anywhere.